Today I learned that I have too many bronzers. Hi friends, I didn't film an intro for this video. I don't know why. I am actually really sick right now, so this is a great time for like editing me to jump in. I know I look probably horrible, it's because I feel horrible. So I'm actually really sick. I have a lot of infections in my face and it's awful, and I'm on like steroids and antibiotics and all these things and it just sucks. So I don't know if there's gonna be a video Monday, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get one up Tuesday, but I'm gonna like play it by ear. But yeah, welcome to my video. This is ranking all my bronzers from best to worst. Enjoy. Problem is, I actually love, I think, almost all of these. There's like a couple in here that I'm like, about. But to be perfectly honest, like my bronzer collection, even though I know it's a lot, it's a very like curated. I feel like I sound like a jerk when I say that because I feel like it's not true. But it truly is to me like, these are all bronzers that I can look at and be like, oh, I love this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Like I love them. So ranking them, I decided it was gonna be kind of hard because I don't know if you guys know this, but bronzers are all the same color. There's really no difference with bronzers. Also, I'm not gonna be including highlighting palettes in this, or bronzing palettes with this, because I'm gonna do a whole separate thing for like face palettes. But let's just get started, I guess, with the ranking process. So I think first and foremost, this bronze booster is going to be last, as far as I can tell right now, only because it's not like bad. I actually like the formula on this, but these little balls destroyed my floor because I dropped them and didn't know. It was a whole thing. So I hate this bronzer just on principle that it like screwed me over. Like this bronzer did me dirty, literally did me dirty. It made my whole floor dirty. Next, I have no idea where to go from there. I guess this one would be kind of low on the totem pole. This is the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. I like the powder a lot, but I think for the price, I did get this for free, but I personally think that for the price and how little product you get, this is just absurd. I do like the actual powder quite a bit, but I don't use it too much because I think that's just absolutely nutty that it costs that much and it's so little. I will say I think my number 7 bronzer is a little bit more in the lower tier as well. This is in the shade Maple. I used to love this bronzer, and then I found the Physicians Formula bronzers, and I've kind of seen the light with these. But this used to be my kind of go-to more natural bronzer. It's still good. It's like a little bit lighter, which is nice for like a natural day, but it's not one I reach for like constantly. I guess Bahama Mama would be lower as well. This is from the Balm, the Bahama Mama bronzer. This would probably be lower only because it's a little bit deep for me. So I don't typically, it's a little bit more gray too. I don't know if you can see. It's got a little bit of like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just not what I reach for. It's not like a fave. You know what I mean? Like I have some that I'm like obsessed with. This is not one of them. So this is gonna go towards the end as well. This I like a lot for, this is from Wet n Wild. This is their Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. I like this a lot as a contour shade, which is interesting because it is a little bit more warm toned. I like more warm toned contours though. I like it because it's a very light, powdery kind of finish, which I enjoy, but I definitely don't think it's like a favorite or a go-to, but I do think it's cute for a little like warmed contour moment. This Pretty Vulgar one I actually really like, but again, it's just not like a fave. So I think I am gonna put this in the lower tier. This in Bronzed B. It's really good, but it is very powdery. I think I can show you really quick. Just kind of like a tap, and it kind of gets powder everywhere. It's such a good bronze though. Like, look at that. Are you kidding? Ugh, okay, I'm gonna put that here. I haven't decided if this is worse than the Wet n Wild one yet. Too Faced Chocolate. Probably this is more mid-tier. This isn't like a bad bronzer, but it's not my absolute favorite. I've had it for freaking ever. It's definitely like a good, solid bronzer. It's like kind of a classic for a reason. However, this is definitely not like my OG like favorite. This would just be like a good bronzer. Does that make sense? I feel like this is such a boring video. Just brown. Oh, Kokie would be a little bit lower too. This is my Kokie bronzing powder, and this is in the shade Flawless Fusion. This is another one I enjoy strictly for contour. I don't really like it as a bronzer. I like it more for contouring because it's got this is a little bit more cool compared to the Wet n Wild one, and it's a little bit lighter, so it gives a nice, more subtle, I don't want to say candlelit, but like a very subtle contour, which I can appreciate. But this is probably going to be lower
bronzer. I'll show you the full lineup in a second. I can tell you right away that these two are gonna go towards the front. So this is my Soleil Tan de Chanel cream bronzer. You can see I've used the Ever Living crap out of it. I use this almost every single day. I love this bronzer. It's beautiful. It's a great base for other bronzers, and it's perfect by its own as well. This one is just, I don't regret getting this at all. Even though it was kind of expensive, this is one that I just really love. I love everything about it. I love the packaging. I love the product. Like, this is such a good, solid product. If you were thinking about doing like a luxury purchase for yourself, this is something I would recommend. I think it's really good and actually worth the money. And along with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Bronzer, I'm not sure which one beats out the other, but this is a fantastic bronzer. I didn't super get the hype at first. Like, I first got it and I was like, okay. It's like, it's a bronzer, but it's actually really, really beautiful on. The finish is just gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a really, I mean, it looks like all the other browns, but it's a really, really nice neutral bronzer, which I like a lot. It's a very good one. I also love this new one from Too Faced. Charles actually bought this for me as a gift because I did him a huge favor that took me hours. So he took me to Ulta and bought me something. And this is the Natural Lust bronzer, the satin dual tone bronzer. It's the one with the peacock in it. I was a little hesitant because I thought it was kind of weird that it was like supposed to be a highlighter and a bronzer, but I find when you mix these together, it gives a really gorgeous, beautiful, just kind of like glow from within glow. It's a glowy bronzer without having any sparkles in it. Like, it's basically a matte glow, which I think is really cool and interesting and unique. I also think the packaging, again, I am a sucker for large pans. Like, I think they're so pretty. And also because Charles doesn't really ever buy me makeup, this was really special because he like bought it for me. So this is definitely gonna go near the top. NARS Laguna definitely goes near the top as well. This is the first bronzer I've ever like fully hit pan on. You can see I've hit major pan here. I love this bronzer. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago and I've used it so much. I love this one. I love the shade. I love everything about it. I love it. This is like, and it's got, again, that like subtle sheen to it that I just love. The other NARS bronzer I have is in Casino, and it is a new formula from them. It is their diffused formula. It looks like this. I've just recently purchased this, so I actually haven't used it too much yet. But from what I've seen from it, it's pretty. It's got the pretty embossing. I think I used it once and it was okay. This probably is gonna go lower just because I haven't really used it yet because it's like kind of new. But I do love the shade Casino. I have it in my Board de Plug palette from NARS, but it sucks because the pan is so small you can't like get your brush in. So I bought the bigger size so I could actually get my brush in. But this is beautiful. It was on sale at Marshall's, so I was like, hell yeah. This is more probably lower just because I haven't used it as much. Fenty bronzer is probably more mid-tier. It's a little orangey for me, but I still enjoy the formula a lot. I think the formula is really beautiful and gives a nice sun-kissed look to you. Like, it definitely provides that sun-kissed effects that a lot of people want. However, the shade I got, which is Private Island, is a little orangey for me, but I don't mind it too much, especially now that it's summer and I kind of want to look more like warm toned and bright and all of those things. So I actually really like this. Probably go in like the middle. Butter bronzers. I mean, I have two, but they're both in different shades. I have a dark and a light. The dark is more for summertime, which is right now, and the light is more for every day. I'm gonna put these in the same place wherever I do put them now. I do think they're more mid to top tier. This is like one of the best drugstore bronzers of all time. Like, if you want a drugstore bronzer, this is what you should get, in my opinion. I think it's so fantastic. Another great drugstore bronzer is Milani's. This is their Glow Baked Bronzer. This is beautiful. This is so good, again, for more natural days when you just want like a glow. It does have a little bit of kind of glitter to it. I don't know if you can see it there on my arm. Definitely does have a little bit of glitter to it, but I personally like it when it comes to this because the glitter is so finely milled that it's not just like glitter on your face with your bronzer. It gives it like a glittery glow, if that makes sense. So it's not a bronzer that looks like a highlighter. It's like a true bronzer with just a hint of sparkle to it, which is why I like it so much. Oh, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, and it sucks because it's a really, really, really good bronzer. This is, again, probably gonna go more like mid-tier. I have these two ones from Pure. So this one is their Mineral Glow, I believe. Yeah, so this is what that looks like. And then this one from Pure is their more like speckled one. This is a great contour shade on me because again, it's a little bit more cool. It's a little bit lighter. And I do like this one a lot. And then this is more of a true bronzer. I think the actual bronzer I would put much lower, whereas the contour shade I would probably put in like the mid-tier of what I'm doing, only because I don't use this that much. It's a little bit dark. It's not bad though, but you can see it's like a little bit darker than what I would normally wear. But this is still a great bronzer, as is this for contouring. Hula's great, definitely more of a mid-tier one for me though. I've actually gone through, I just hit pan on this one too. I've gone through 2 of these minis now. I think next time I have their like box of blushes and box of powders on sale, I'm just going to buy the full-size one because I have gone through 2 of the minis at this point. The minis take, although buy the Benefit minis because the big ones take for freaking ever to get through, and like these little ones also take forever to get through, but they're like half the price. I paid $15 for this and I've now had 2, and it like took me like 6 or 7 months to get through it. So this is definitely a really good bronzer. It's probably gonna go more mid. The Sweetie Pie is a fantastic summer bronzer. I don't know of a better summer bronzer. I love that it has the red and the highlight kind of mixed in because it ends up giving you this super beautiful and natural like summer glow. I don't know if you guys can see any of that. I wish I like could show you, but it just looks like nothing on my skin because it blends in. This gives you a super gorgeous, natural, subtle bronze that I'm obsessed with. So this one definitely goes more towards the top as well. And then my Laura Mercier one, this I also use for contour a lot. And this is in Bronze 02. This is their matte baked bronzer. I like this, but I think it would go more middle to low just because of like its use. It's not like a fantastic or anything, but it's a good contour shade for me. Okay, everything is kind of just in a mess. So let's pick like top 5 and low 5. So I think, I'm gonna separate in 2 categories. I think my number 1 is gonna have to be this Chanel, the Soleil Tan de Chanel. I know people are gonna kill me because they hate when I talk about like expensive makeup. Sorry about it, but this is freaking great. I'm not gonna not say it's not. It's really good. I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So that would be my number 1. My number 2 probably would be NARS Laguna, just because this is such a well-loved, well-used. I love the formula. I love the color. Like, this is just a very good bronzer for me and my skin tone. Number 3 would definitely be the Marc Jacobs Coconut. What they did just expand this to have a deeper shade as well, which is like, it's about time. I wish they would do more bronzer shades with something like this because the formula is great. Packaging is very cute. That is a really good one. I think 4th has to be my Butter bronzers because these are just like next level. They're so, so, so good. I absolutely love my Butter bronzers. And then for my last top 5, I'm gonna have to, it's a really hard choice, honestly, but I think I'm gonna go with this Too Faced one that I was given the Natural Lust bronzer, which is kind of surprising because I didn't think it would end up being like one of my favorites. This is just such a good summer bronzer. It's so good. It's good for the summer. I feel like it's gonna be great for like just when I want to have like a little bit of glow to my face without having something that's like a little bit more glittery like these two. This is where it's at. So yeah, that would be my top 5. I think 6th would be Hula, and I think 7th would be Fenty. 8th would be another Too Faced one. 9th would be Milani, and I think 10th would be the other Too Faced, the chocolate. Too Faced makes great powder products like this. Their face products are so good. So I think that would be, this is like my top 10. Next, let's move all of the good ones out of the way and we'll make room for, again, like I said this in my highlighter video, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm not putting these lower because I think they're bad, because if I thought they were bad, I would declutter them. I'm putting these lower because compared to other things, they're like the worst of the best, if that makes sense. So I think my absolute worst is gonna have to be the Bronze Booster because it's just yikes. And then I'm gonna put the NARS Casino, not because I think it's bad, but because I just haven't really used it yet. So that's probably gonna go lower. Definitely Kevyn Aucoin is next because don't buy this. It's just ridiculous. It's so freaking overpriced and it's not even, there's no product. Like, don't buy this. I think I would also put the Pure next as the worst, along with my number 7 bronzer as worst. This is where it gets kind of hard. I think I'd put Bahama Mama next. Then the Wet n Wilds, then the Kokie, then the Pretty Vulgar. No, Pretty Vulgar should go like here. Then Wet n Wild's, then Kokie, then Pure, then Laura Mercier. So this is the worst, second worst, third worst, fourth worst, fifth worst, and then these ones kind of all, once it hits here, it's kind of like I'm just guessing, because I don't really, I don't know which one would be considered like worst out of all of these. So we are looking at, I have way too many bronzers. We are looking at the winner and the loser. At the end of the day, I think I like all of these bronzers for different reasons. Like I said, they kind of all serve somewhat of a different purpose for me, like different seasons, different vibes, different like what, you know what I mean? Like they all just, I like them all for different reasons. Yeah, and I dislike all of them for different reasons. There's not, you know what I mean? I hope this video wasn't too boring. I know it was just me and my bronzers not making any sense, but yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're here watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!